Yeah, so biggest concern is that we hear fluid in her airway. So I'm hearing it in her air sacs. So chickens, I don't know how familiar you are with chicken anatomy, but they have air sacs that push the air through their lungs. So lungs live kind of on their back. They have air sacs that live here and here.
Mm-hmm.
So down here in her belly area, I can hear that fluid when she breathes, and I can hear some of that crackling and fluid in her lungs on her back as well. And birds are often, their body wall is so thin, you can actually hear that fluid outside the bird. So that's probably why you guys are hearing that gurgling too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that's in her airway. As far as why, I was just telling your husband too, the fact that she's the only bird affected worries me that something happened to her specifically, whether that's some kind of aspiration event, if she regurgitated and aspirated, or I don't know, something along those lines that has happened specifically to her.
Well, we let them out in the morning. Sometimes
They jump on
two
top
or
of
three
each other.
stages.
Yeah.
They land on each other all the time.
Is there any water feature that she could have gotten stepped on in or fallen in or anything?
We have a pond,
Okay.
but
Well, she
they were
wasn't in the pond.
inside. Yeah, they
And
were
she would
inside.
have been wet. You would have noticed
Yeah.
that she fell in the pond.
But we had just let her out, and when she walked around the side of the truck, we heard her go, "Arr!"
Yeah.
It sounded like a crow,
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's weird. So I picked her up, and we took her to my friend's house, who knows a lot about birds, and then she was on the phone with the hospital because
Yeah.
she could hear her on the phone when I called her.
Yeah.
And she lives like a mile away from my house, so we took her, and then she called you guys
Okay.
and made an appointment.
Here we
Good.
are.
Good. Yeah. So I mean, definitely something
Yeah.
concerning. As
She
far
had been
as
in the room before, and then she just came out, and I went and caught her because
Yeah.
she ran over to where the pond was to try to hide from me. And I'm like, come here.
yeah. No, I mean, she is at least still compensating too. So her mucous membranes are pink, even though her breathing effort is high. It's kind of on and off. She can compensate a little bit, and her you can look at kind of like you look at humans' gums. You can look at the back of their mouth, and it's
Right.
still pretty pink. But we put her on oxygen right now just in case. So we have two goals at this
Okay.
point: treating her and figuring out what's wrong. As far as figuring out what's wrong, we were just talking about sedation. So we usually have to sedate them at least a little bit to get x-rays, just because if they're flapping and moving, we don't
Yeah.
get great views.
Yeah.
Chickens less so than our parrots. Parrots can really hurt themselves if you try to restrain them. Chickens, you give a little light sedation, they will sit on their back, they'll sit on their side pretty well. But the other risk is if there is a crop issue, and that's what caused her to, say, vomit, regurgitate, and aspirate, she could do that again. She could regurgitate again. But that's that balance of trying to figure out what's wrong so we know what we're treating. I can probably do at least a single view without sedation, have her
Okay.
on the table top down to check for things like metal, eggs, obvious fluid
Right.
somewhere, but it's not going to give me a good view of her whole airway unless we do those normally positioned tube views. As far as treatment, we do have injectable options to treat her. So if you guys are comfortable with needles and comfortable doing that, I can show you how and where. We do breast muscle injections in these guys.
Mhm.
And for my respiratory birds, I tend to prefer that if we can, because then you don't have to give her anything in her mouth. You don't have to
Right.
worry about her struggling to breathe while you're trying to stick something in her
Yeah,
mouth.
that's good.
And I have taught much less chicken competent owners than yourselves to do
Oh,
this.
well,
so.
that's good.
Yeah, so
Well,
I can
I was
definitely-
figuring, if I can't do it, I know my friend Laura probably could.
Yeah, we can show you guys how to
Yeah,
do it, and
'cause
if you're
she's
like
very
absolutely
knowledgeable.
not, yeah, and usually I honestly do them solo, because if they're standing, you just have to put the needle up into their breast muscle, and they have a big plate of bone behind that protecting
Yeah,
it.
you
so.
can feel that one bone,
Yeah.
the breastbone, I guess.
Yeah,
it is.
exactly. So the keel, that's
Yeah.
the keel. So like if
Okay.
you've ever, not to be
That
well,
sounds like a boat.
yeah,
it
or
is
like
it
exactly.
feels like a keel.
That's what they call it, the
Yeah.
keel, and it's literally it's that ridge
Yeah.
and it goes flat back.
Mhm,
So
right.
if you give injections in that area, you have a big plate of bone protecting anything important. So
Okay.
it's a lot easier to go in that area because it's a thick muscle and it's very well protected. Like if you've ever seen a rotisserie chicken, I know.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's
graphic,
like, "You eat chicken?" I'm
but
like,
if
"I
you-
don't eat my chickens."
But if you remove if you remove the breast muscle, you'll see that big flat
Yeah,
bone
mhm.
underneath. So at least treatment wise, that would be our plan, would probably be injectable medications, but as of right now, we don't really know why or how bad this fluid is. If at any point she decompensates, we can always have that harder end of life type talk. I'm not, rushing us there,
No,
but it's
but
always,
she's not at that point yet, right?
yeah, not yet, no, but
'Cause
chickens
I
are
want her to-
tough.
If she's gonna pass, I want to be able to hold her and comfort her till she
Yeah,
passes.
and chickens are tough. I mean,
Yeah.
chickens,
Oh, I know.
They
She's
are.
gone through Bumblefoot. She got attacked by a hawk.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
She's got 9 lives.
yeah, exactly. So there's a lot. So they've been through a lot, and I feel like I tell people kind of anecdotally all the time. And when a chicken comes in, I'm gonna know whether or not that chicken wants to live by just looking at it. By how,
Well, at first when
alert
she
they
was
are, you
doing
know?
this and extending, I'm like, oh man, she has a right neck.
Yeah, and if
You know,
that,
we've had a chicken die from that.
Mm.
You know.
yeah, and if that progresses too, that's gonna be another kind of stopping
Yeah.
point. Is if we
Mhm.
treat and this doesn't get better. But I'm
Right.
gonna go make you guys an estimate together, and we'll probably have you drop off for a bit, run and grab some food for things like X-rays, sedation, whatnot. If for some reason that's not within the budget today, that's the other thing we were talking about as well. Is with chickens, I see anything from a solo chicken that lives in an apartment in a diaper to a hobby flock of 40. I know that the amount that people can and want to spend on their chickens has no correlation with how much they love them. It is just part
Right.
of the conversation.
Right.
So
So we have that hobby flock of 40.
Yeah, very nice. That's a goal. That would be great if I had the
We
space.
just rescued 5 from.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a rescue lady on Facebook, and
Mhm.
she brought in like 280 chickens from
Oh,
North
wow.
Carolina, all Isa Browns, and we took 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
said
you guys.
they were composting.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
We're like,
Well,
what?
good things. What? And they're young. They're
Mhm.
not even 2 years old. They're like 8 months.
Yeah.
And Isa Browns, they'll go for 3 years. A good heart. They're like the Toyota of chickens.
Sure.
You know, they can handle it. But
Yeah.
you know, they're
Plus with the-
scraggly, but they're doing good. They're coming up. They're eating out of my hand.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I mean, it's
Didn't mean to
awesome.
ramble.
They had never been in the ground. They were like looking at the ground like,
Wow.
what the heck?
Okay. That's always good.
You have to smile to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Of course, the other chickens are giving them shit.
Well, and also too, I mean, like
Is
you
that
said too,
pecking
the
order?
3 years, like
Yeah.
chickens in general, they're not built for longevity. So
No.
a lot of these
Mm-mm.
things too, I have seen tumors in chickens as young as 2 or 3 because they
Yeah.
are just like our laying hens. They are if they're such prolific layers.
Yes.
So we also
Isa
don't
Browns
know.
are like that.
Yeah. So we also don't know with her. And how old is she? Remind me.
She's
again?
about 3 or 4.
About 3 or 4?
She was one of the first chickens we got.
Okay.
And she was the only one left that was her kind,
Okay.
you know, so we took her because she was all there by herself.
Yeah, so I mean that's another thought too is if we find something else like heart disease, like a mass or something like
Yeah.
that, it's always possible. It's not guaranteed, but
Right.
I can treat
But this way we can
infection,
just
you know?
let her live her best life before she goes.
Yeah,
if
so
that's
we'll
the
see if we
case.
can get some more information.
Right.
I'm gonna put an ultrasound on there as well if I need to drain any fluid. I don't feel
Okay.
anything obvious, but sometimes I can put a probe on the back of their abdomen.
Mhm.
If there's obvious fluid in their belly, I can at least drain that
Yeah.
because you know these guys don't have a diaphragm, so any amount of fluid is gonna kind of
Oh, I
push
know.
on everything.
We've seen our girls with some food boobs.
Yeah, exactly. So if I can relieve any of this pressure, if
Mhm.
there is pressure to relieve, then I will
Yeah.
to help her
I've-
breathe a little better.
Hers is almost the size of a golf ball. It's not too big.
Her crop, you mean?
Yeah, like right
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Her crop is
Yeah.
not huge, but it's
Yeah.
kind of saggy. There is a lot of
Yeah.
doughy material in it, so
Okay.
I wonder if at some point it was distended. I don't really
Probably
know,
pasta.
but it's just And these got and no construction by them, right? No chance she could have gotten metal like screws, recent
She
renovations.
may have.
She's
I mean, they
gonna-
pick up anything in the garden, and I
Okay.
keep telling them don't leave stuff around because they'll eat it and it'll kill them.
Yeah, so that's another thing I would
Yeah.
check on. Either a single, I can check for metal on a single view X-ray or
Yeah.
on a sedated X-ray. So either one I can check
Let's
for.
do the single use.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to sedate her and have her get other issues.
Okay.
Is that
I'll
okay?
Yeah, I'll make you guys the estimate anyway, just to see everything,
Okay.
including the ultrasound and stuff too, in case I have to tap her. But then at least we'll be able to see something, and then I
Yeah.
can teach you how to do the
They
injection.
do get in the garage, I mean,
Yeah, he's
they
got
knock
stuff.
stuff
in there.
off the,
Yeah,
They
they
get
do.
up
They
on
hop up
shelves
on
and
stuff
knock
and knock
stuff
everything
out
off
so
their
they can-
shelves.
you know,
Yeah.
be hurrying themselves, kicking a screw off.
Yeah, I
or-
mean, and I have done a postmortem exam on a chicken and found a full nail about this
Wow.
thing inside of
Yeah,
the chicken.
see, and they will eat it.
You know, and sometimes if it pokes through in just the wrong way,
Yeah.
fluid,
Yeah.
develops. So that's the other thing is like,
Yeah, it's like hemorrhaging.
whatever this is, seems like something that's happening specifically to her because
Right.
all of your other chickens are
They're fine.
They seem fun.
Yeah.
So, all right, I will get a plan
Okay,
together. Someone will be
appreciate
right in, and if you guys do want to drop her off for a little bit or run and grab some food together, I know you're just out to get a bite to eat, but if you want to run out and grab some food while we do those things, you're welcome to. But we'll
Yeah.
settle a plan first.
Okay, what we can do is we'll go home,
Yeah.
and that way when she's done, I'll come back and get her if
Okay.
need be.
Yeah,
Because
perfect.
he's got stuff he's got to do.
Yeah, so
With
hang tight here just for a second. We'll
Yeah,
make
no
the
problem.
estimate. We'll be right back.
Okay, thank you.
And if you guys have any other questions, let us know.
Okay, thank you.